All right, so I was introducing Kavita Madani, who's my guest for today. She's a certified image consultant and a soft skills trainer from ICBI Pune. So we're going to understand if she has had a great experience with ICBI and what is she doing now post her certification and what was she doing prior to joining ICBI. So let's see if Kavita is already here and I'll just invite her. Hi Kavita.
Hi, Suman ma'am. How are you?
Sorry, I lost my voice earlier because my mic was
Yes.
not working.
No problem.
All good?
Yes, all good. How are you doing?
Uh, I think there's
Can
some
you hear
problem.
me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly. It's just that some people are writing that my voice is not there and I'm not audible, so I'm just a little confused.
Okay,
Okay, let's get started.
sure.
So, Kavita, 20 years in finance and
Yes.
then you jumped into image consulting and soft skills. ये कैसे
Yes.
हुआ, कब हुआ, क्यों हुआ? बताओ.
This was the time when I took my sabbatical post my marriage. So it was a 6 month sabbatical sometime in December 21. That's when it started. And I just wanted to take a break because I was just settling in my new married life, and it was also moving cities. So I just thought it to give that dedicated time. So during that time, I got a lot of time to think, and I was contemplating whether I want to continue with finance profession or should I take up something else. Was it, something that I'm really passionate about? And training has always been at the back of my mind because even in my stint with EY Citibank, we had to give a lot of trainings. Of course, those being a little technical, but I thoroughly enjoyed, training people, imparting knowledge, and that satisfaction that I always got that by sharing my knowledge, I could really make an impact to people.
Correct.
So that was always at the back of my mind. And many a times, a lot of my friends and colleagues also kept telling me that if you ever have to choose a second career, I think you should try training because you're probably good at it. And just at that point in time, I came across, one of my ex-colleagues who was with me in my articleship days. We've not worked too much, but she happened to get married to my peer. So we were in the same college. We were together in articleship and this. So she was there with my LinkedIn in my LinkedIn contacts, and when I was just scrolling through, her profile just popped up with description at the bottom saying that certified soft skill trainer. So I and she was also a chartered accountant, worked in a bank, etc. So it just got me very curious, and I went and saw, and then I saw she got her certification from ICBI, and then I reached out to her to really understand more. And it was not only that, I also came across another colleague of mine. She happens to be wife of my boss, ex-boss. And she had had a career in learning and development with us in EY, and then she started a firm on her own. So I tried getting in touch with her also, but those were just conversations. And then few months down the line, life actually threw an opportunity for me to decide if I had wanted to switch. And so I decided to make that switch. And that's how I landed up at ICBI and I started the second phase. And it was easy to take a leap for two, three things. One was, of course, I was passionate and I've got an opportunity, because once what happens is many a times you think you want to do, but you don't get that opportunity, or for some or the other reason the timing is not right. So fortunately that worked, and I felt I was a little bit more stable financially, which also let me take that leap of faith that I knew if I'm starting something new, the start may be a little slow. So, just being also feeling secured that, finance not playing on my mind. And of course, my husband supported me that, you can really take up what you really want. So that's how I decided to take the leap of faith.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me, Kavita, many professionals excel in the technical arena, uh, in the technical part or technical areas, but they struggle to make an impact when it comes to soft skills.
Right.
So, how do you think that soft skills can actually bridge the gap between their actual skill sets plus their other qualities, which can actually help them to grow in life?
Right. So here, what I think is one is everyone, of course, when we start our career, we all want to be successful, and with my own very experience, we've seen that, one is when you have to have made that first impression, to get that opportunity. One is getting an opportunity, and the second is you're also able to, actually perform to that, once you've got that opportunity. So one is first impressions, and we all know that it starts right from the resume. When we apply for a job, there are multiple resumes. Our resume really need to stand out for us to even get that opportunity. And then, of course, second round makes it to the interview. And then to perform, one is hard skills, because if you've got already your interview call, it's more likely that they're convinced with your qualification, etc., and hence you've at least reached there. And maybe at an entry level, you may still be able to, initially just do with technical skills. But later on, when you start working a little bit more, one will realize that technical skills, if you have to do work by yourself, you can really excel. But when you're working in a professional setup, it's all about people. And that's where the entire soft skills comes into picture. And it's very important that, we learn these skills, because to having to deal with people, it is these skills which will help you, manage everybody, the people's expectations, their emotions, how they behave, how they react. And it's working together with people which will help you move up the ladder. And I've seen that firsthand. It was like an eye opener for me when I had been in rooms where appraisals are going on, and the deciding factor, when it reaches where, people are really good at technicals, it's then boils down to how good they are in terms of their communication, behavior,
People
how good this,
skills,
yes,
interpersonal skills. I
skills,
think those
a
things
lot of
also play a very important role
very
here.
important role. That's true.
Absolutely. So, what role did ICBI play in transforming your self development journey and converting it into a full fledged second career?
So for me as well, also, of course, I, really wished that I learned it the hard way through my career, so I wished, I had something early on. But having said that, soft skills or the ICBI curriculum is designed in such a way that first it requires you to practice all of it on yourself first. Before you can really even go and, talk about it or advise or teach anybody else. So during that entire going through that course helped me also reflect on my days at corporate, going through those difficult situations and thinking through what I could have done differently, and, what were the reasons why some things didn't really work. And gradually I started applying those in my day-to-day routine, in the sense either it's back at home, because even at home sometimes we take our own people for granted, and that's where, it's required the most. And then gradually, even with my professional colleagues, etc. And gradually, once I started building that, I got more and more confidence in terms of that, I am now ready to do it. I won't say I'm completely there, because I feel soft skills is one area. It's a continuous learning process. And you can never get there because people keep changing. You're dealing with different emotions, with different kind of people. So
True.
that's how it is.
Absolutely. So, from Citibank to EY to training CA students, how do you use your corporate experience to add value now?
So when I've also attended a lot of these trainings during, Citibank, all this, one thing is that, none of us like to listen to Gyan or that lecture, कि, ऐसा करना चाहिए, वैसा करना चाहिए, ideally ऐसा होना चाहिए. And we generally come inside the training room with certain problems in our mind. And, even as participant, the idea was that, when I'm sitting through that training session, I'm looking for some solution at the end of the session that I can take back to help me solve my problems. And that's where I feel my corporate world experience really helps me, because having worked in the corporate and having, witnessed or gone through myself some of these issues, I can really bring those real life examples, build in those real scenarios and case studies, which help, the participants to relate to something which is real, not something which is just, and just an example which is built up, or an ideal solution which we're just talking in air. And
True.
that can help them, identify with what is really helping, and they'll be able to resonate with taking the solutions or the teachings much better, and, try to apply it.
Correct, correct, absolutely. So, has there been any mindset shift from the time you've left your corporate job to moving into becoming your own boss?
That's a difficult one.
That should be
um,
the easiest one, I feel.
I think the mindset shift was this. It wasn't easy, I would say, because one is, when I left my corporate job, I was at a senior position, right? It was all, I had already proved my ability. I had people who were looking upon to me, and it was all there. uh, Deciding to start all on my own meant that I was to be open and willing to unlearn everything that I had learned and start all over again, and be comfortable with the uncomfortable, that, this journey will take some time to get back to where I was. And what also happens during this phase is, people have already seen you at a level, right? And suddenly, they see you, Arey, why did you leave your job? You're trying on your own. Are you comfortable, not comfortable? But somewhere in your mind, you have to be okay that everything is going to work, or have that faith that everything is going to work out for your highest good. So that was like,
I have a little different opinion here, although I strongly feel and agree with what you just said, because even though we may not feel otherwise, a lot of people will try to make you feel that guilt कि अरे तुमने ये क्या कर दिया, तुमने इतना बड़ा ब्लंडर कर दिया कि तुमने अपनी जॉब छोड़ दी और अब क्या करोगे लाइफ में, एंड व्हाई डू यू वांट टू गेट आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन, जस्ट स्टिक अराउंड देयर एंड you're getting salary by the end of the day. But the most important thing is that what is it that you are thinking? You are
correct,
far more important than anybody
correct,
else who can give opinion and advice, क्योंकि वो तो फ्री में हमेशा मिलता है.
right, which is true. No,
So
so
I
that
also
means
got it
I'm convinced.
because I was also in corporate for almost 14, 15 years, and then I
Wow.
decided to take a leap and move to the next automatic progression that I call. And I was also made to feel very guilty कि तुमने क्या कर लिया अपनी life में. But I had to hold that front and understand and
Correct.
make them also understand, although
Right.
nobody understands. It's only you who will have to, keep your sanity in place and
Correct.
just go ahead with what you actually plan to do in life. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I was very excited about the new journey that I was starting.
That's true. Correct.
And you always want to, you know, you always feel that the grass is greener on the other side. एक चीज छोड़ी दूसरी चीज में आए तो वो पुरानी चीज फिर बहुत अच्छी लगने लग जाती है. Temptations are unlimited.
Right.
But you have to also see that what is it that you are motivated to do, and
Right.
because of which you left something and you are going ahead with something else.
Right. Which is
So
true.
that's the biggest self motivation
Motive.
factor
Correct.
that keeps the drive on, and you are, on the right track without getting distracted.
That is true. I fully agree with you. And that's exactly the way, I'm approaching this as well.
True.
So I have absolutely no second thoughts, even when they ask me. In fact, I feel more confident when I really answer them. So it's just great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Uh, Most people think that soft skills are all about common sense. To a great extent, they are.
Yeah.
Why do you believe that they're essential to professional success? In fact, I would say for all type of success in life, it's not
Yeah.
just professional success, but primarily when it comes to becoming successful in the professional arena,
Right.
why are soft skills important?
Like I mentioned earlier, soft skills is also, as we said, in a professional setup, or as for that matter, you mentioned even in your real life scenario, right? It's all about dealing with people. It's all about interpersonal skills. It's all about maintaining those relationships. And hence, soft skills become very important. And while most of it, really sounds like common sense, but here we are talking about people, we are talking about emotions. And we've all been through this. Like, we all know, right, that when somebody says something, you're not supposed to get angry. Or if you get angry, you're not supposed to, raise your volume. Or you should not take decisions when you're angry. But as human beings, because you don't know what aspect of anything that the person says or you experience, what triggers inside you. So, and in that spur of movement, there is no common sense, or you're not able to think, and you tend to do something which you knew you never you should not have done it. So sometimes I feel it's like a constant reminder for your own self, even though it's common sense. You have to constantly keep reminding yourself, be a little more conscious, because the more you keep telling yourself, and every time a similar situation arises, it helps you to definitely manage it better than the previous time.
True,
Because
absolutely.
uh, yeah, because when you go back in time and say, okay, yes, I got angry, it also helps you when you start being a little more empathetic to your own self, try and understand why it happened, what caused the trigger, etc. Those are all part of your soft skills, where you're trying to understand yourself, reflecting and being more aware about it, so that that can help you the next time, that when that situation arises, okay, I need to stay more calm. It's okay, I need to look at it objectively. It's not about me. Sometimes we tend to take a lot of things personally also, because of which a lot of emotions come out. And hence, I say that, even though it sounds a lot as common sense, but sometimes it doesn't come to us very naturally. It's because as human beings, we go through a lot of emotions and we don't know what incident can trigger what. So that's
That
where,
makes sense.
yeah, you need to
Absolutely.
constantly work on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what kind of work are you doing, Kavita, and who are your clients primarily?
So currently I'm doing both, partially also of my, my previous career, and also soft skills and this. So my clients are mostly corporates. So corporate trainings is something that I have really got into. But besides that, I am doing trainings with the CA Institute as part of their curriculum, which is again on soft skills. So those are primarily my clients.
And any memorable experience with image consulting or soft skills training that you had with any of your client, which is very close to your heart?
Memorable experience, yes. One of the clients that I worked for on my for an image consulting client, which was a one-on-one. It was very satisfactory in the sense that the person was moving into a different role, and needed that guidance. I mean, she was having a shift in her job, and just helping her through and seeing her how she has transformed and taken it. And every now and then I receive messages from her where she tells me that, okay, today I tried this, what you had taught me, and it worked. It made me feel good. So that gives me a lot of satisfaction, that, being able to do, touch upon somebody's life.
Very true. Absolutely. And I think that's so gratifying because more than anything else that we do, giving back and touching people's life and, leaving a lasting impact is something which we thrive on, truly.
Correct.
I mean,
That is
more than a paycheck moment is this where we are able to make an impact and a real one.
correct.
All right. So, if you had to give an advice to somebody who's like, highly skilled at work but lacks visibility, what advice would you give to somebody who is, suffering in silence, I would say?
One, I would say that there is hope to begin with, and there is good news that you can definitely change that. But yes, of course, what's most important is that you are willing to work, because it is a lot of work. It's not like, we've done, it's not a one time thing that will happen. And another good news is that you have professionals like us who can actually help you through that entire journey, and you need not go through that entire journey just by yourself. But even if you were to try to do it by yourself, I think the first very important step is to step back, reflect, and actually be very honest to yourself to say that what aspect of it is not working, and most likely it is going to be some aspect of your soft skills, either some sort of behavior that is not working, either the way you are communicating is not working, or something to do with your appearance, etc., some aspect of soft skills. And a good idea would be, if you are looking at someone, or you'll always have an ideal, and if you see the person is behaving in a certain manner, you could probably use that example to identify what is not working for you. And then maybe you might come up with multiple aspects, and one, it's just good to probably do one thing at a time and not try and overwhelm yourself. The biggest message is that don't give up. That's what I would really say. And it's not something that cannot be changed. It will definitely require some work, but it is definitely doable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we also come across so many people who are actually in this situation, and the owners, the employers actually connect with us, and they tell us that these are the things. This is the situation with one of our very senior, um, you know, um, team member, and we need help from an image consultant, soft skills trainer, and our people actually go and consult such people.
Right.
So things are happening, changes are
Correct.
possible, and there is nothing impossible, and nobody should actually lose hope or lose heart, because there is solution for everything on this planet.
Correct.
Excellent. So how do you balance between spirituality, because I also know that you are quite spiritual and very family oriented also, so along with these two things, managing your second career, how do you balance and how do you take care of everything altogether?
So for me, what happened was, the new life, as a new personal life and professional life, second kind of followed immediately after that. So when I took that sabbatical, that's also got me some time to reflect, to say that one is, I knew that I will not be able to do everything. I will have to be very clear in terms of what is it that I want to prioritize, and what is it that would take a back seat. When I began my new personal life, I knew I had to give that a little bit more time, because I also had to learn few skills to, learn to manage the home, cooking, etc. Because I'd never done that when I was back at home. So that was also something that I
So,
had to
so are
learn.
you like cooking every day now? Do you
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
And now cooking has now become a passion as well. I enjoy
Wow.
doing it. Uh, but having said that, it's not that I am in the kitchen the entire time. I do have my time slots that I try and, keep for everything, so that I'm able to manage. But knowing what I really want, I have taken my own pace, even in my second career. So just trying to look at the family time, spending some time for spiritual, even for the health, for that matter, and the second career, I try to put them in different buckets of my day and try and do everything possible. But yes, I know in my mind that maybe there will be times when something will take priority, and there will be time later where I'll be able to even speed up my career. So, just being comfortable with the decision that I have taken is what is actually helping me balance everything.
But are you able to manage all comfortably? All
Uh,
of it?
there are times when it's there, but I think I will also give credit for this to my husband because he's very supportive. Kabhi kuch upar niche hua, so he's like, it's okay, it doesn't matter. It's not like too much enforced. He's very supportive that way, so it is good. It's sometimes I feel more than everybody else. It's we who expect a lot from ourselves, and we try that ye bhi karna hai, ye bhi karna hai, ye bhi karna hai. So that's happens. There are times when it doesn't, but then what I'm trying to say is at that point in time, if I feel that's more important and I need to give it, I'm comfortable that something else for the time being. I know it's momentary and I'll come back on track. So that's how it is.
Excellent. Excellent. So you found your calling through a friend's story. So what message would you give to someone who's waiting for their calling? What's next? I mean, how would you tell them that, uh, how will their what next moment come?
One is I just want to clarify here. So, like while we say it's a friend, as I mentioned earlier, I was not in contact with her since my articleship days, which is more than 15 years. Okay, but I was still comfortable to speak to her, etc. And we got in touch, everything. But to a great extent, I would say it came from a person where I actually least expected it. I've been looking at a lot of you get a lot of people's profiles, etc., where you see that they are trainers, etc., but you don't know where your calling will really come from. Most likely it will come from the places where you expect the least, as far as you're open. And I feel that it will come to you at the right time. Like I said, right, I mean, training was at the back of my mind for a very very long time. I had seen a lot of my ex-colleagues, who were in L&D, they started doing. It was there at the back of my mind, and I always thought कि कभी करेंगे, but I didn't know that it would come in this shape and form. And
Absolutely.
I feel that it came to me at the right time. So that's my advice that, just have faith. It will come to you at the right time and just be open. It can come to you from anywhere.
Yeah, true calling definitely comes, and once it becomes your calling, then it also becomes your future. If you actually pursue your calling and you follow your intuition, I
Yes,
think then it just goes one step after the other, and you finally reach your destination eventually.
that is true. Completely.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, Kavita, we are done with the questions. Now we'll ask our audience if they have anything that they would like to ask you or me.
Sure.
I'll invite all the questions from them. And if you have anything that you would like to ask us, please put it down in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to address them. So we'll give 5 minutes to this and then we can close this live. Thank you, Parul. Anybody who would like to ask any question to Kavita or to me regarding her journey, regarding her assignments, or about ICBI, please feel free. We'll wait for 5 minutes, and if there are no questions, we will close this live. So, Kavita, is this your first live?
Yes, it is.
But it went very smooth.
Yes, it is.
Kavita, what would you do in a time of conflict between work and home front?
What would I do? It will also depend, but definitely if something more urgent at home, home will definitely and family will take a priority over work.
Of course. Yes, Nikita is also here. Hi,
Oh,
Nikita. Anyone else who wants to ask any question before we close? All right. So I think there are no more questions. So thank you, Kavita. And it was a wonderful
Thank you so much,
conversation.
ma'am, for giving this opportunity. It was wonderful having a conversation with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very candid and very comfortable conversation. So I think there's something.
Yes.
Kavita, what has been the most transformational experience for you as a student of ICBI?
Um, I think it was my TTT.
Okay, I don't know that if they know TTT, if you can just
Yeah, they
expand
know
a
because
bit.
Parul was my batchmate in TTT. TTT stands for Train the Trainer. It's a 8 day extensive offline training that we all undertake. And that's where you learn the practical nuances of actually giving training as a trainer. So I think that was the most transformational experience for me.
Excellent. Wonderful. And I think that's been like a transformational experience for everybody, a life changing moment for everyone. So,
Yeah.
TTT of ICBI has always been absolutely mind blowing. Not that other things have not been, but that's
Yeah.
also one more feather in the cap. Oh, looking forward to mine too, ma'am. Good to know that Kavita. Okay, all right. We did it together. All right, Parul, great. All right. So thank you so much. This was a wonderful live. And once again, thank you, Kavita. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody else.
ma'am. Thank you,
I'll see
everyone,
you
for
all.
joining.
Yeah. I'll see you
Thank
all
you.
next week. Until then, this is Kavita Madani and Suman Agarwal signing off for today. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.